Hey everyone, this is going to be my Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 5 review video. And if you guys want to stay tuned for all my Mandalorian reviews, make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss a bit. Now let's get into the video. So we ended the last episode with Moff Gideon finding out that Baby Yoda is still in the possession of the Mandalorian and he's still searching for Baby Yoda. As everyone predicted, this week's episode featured the first live-action appearance of Ahsoka Tano. And wow, what an appearance it was. I'll get more into Ahsoka's history later in the video, but for now, let's talk about that opening scene. So we don't actually start off the episode from Mando's perspective, we actually start it from Ahsoka's perspective, and the perspective of this town, which I'll talk about later. The episode starts on a forest planet, which I'm pretty sure it's called Corvus, which is where Mando is currently headed. And the area of the forest planet we see is all ruined. There's no leaves on the trees at all. It's sort of like a haunted graveyard, which is the vibe that it gave me. So we see some armed gunfighters making their way through the forest searching for something. Something is chasing them and they're trying to get away from it. And as you might have guessed, it is Ahsoka. She reveals herself with her two white lightsabers in her hands, ready to destroy them. At this point, I was probably jumping out of my seat. I was so excited to see Ahsoka for the first time in live action. She's my favorite Star Wars character by far. So this group of people that are going after her are part of a larger town, and they see her as a threat to their community. She's actually trying to help them by getting rid of their leader, because their leader is corrupt and violent, and they abuse the people of this town. So she gives them one day to surrender or die. These gunfighters cower in fear as they run away, and we cut to Mando and Baby Yoda. They are just now landing on Corvus, ready to see Ahsoka. They land the ship right next to this town I talked about earlier, and they make their way toward the front gate. The leader asks what business he has being on this planet, and he pretty much responds and says he's seeking passage, even though that he's actually here to see Ahsoka. I do want to say that this season does start out very slow, and it takes a while for the show to get ramped up and to get ready for big episodes like this one. Before I continue, I want to ask you to like the video. It really helps me out for making more videos like this. It would just really help me out a lot. Let's continue. The town leader opens the door and lets Mando through. So Mando starts by kind of going around and asking people where he can find Ahsoka, and they all kind of run away before he can even ask the question because they're kind of afraid of Mandalorians because this town sees Mandalorians as enemies. The leader calls for him, so he decides to head over there and talk to her. The leader starts the conversation by showing him a spear that's actually made out of Beskar, which is the metal that Mando's armor is made out of. A lot of people want Beskar. This is a very valuable thing in the Star Wars universe. It's pretty much the vibranium of Star Wars. So she offers him this spear, and in return, Mando must defeat Ahsoka because they want Ahsoka gone. They don't want her bothering them anymore. Knowing that Ahsoka is the good guy in this situation, Mando says yes to this and decides to head out in search for Ahsoka. Him and Baby Yoda eventually find her, but they don't know each other, so they start fighting it out, and this was a really cool action sequence because Beskar steel is unbreakable, and Mando's blocking the lightsabers with his wrists. It honestly kind of reminded me of Wonder Woman, how she blocks the bullets with her own wrist, with her armor. This was a very cool action sequence. I loved how each of them moved. This is some of the best action choreography I've seen in a while. But then Ahsoka turns over and sees Baby Yoda, and she realizes that she should stop fighting and come to an agreement. She asks about him, and he tells her that there have been some things that have been going on that he can't really explain. He's been using the Force, he's been doing different things, and she sits down and explains to Mando how the Force works and what it means. So then she tries to hold up a stone, she Force pushes it towards Baby Yoda, and she wants to see if Baby Yoda will push it back. He does not, because he doesn't know who Ahsoka is. He doesn't know whether he should lash out his powers or not, so he feels uncomfortable in using the Force. At least that's what I took from Baby Yoda. So she asks if Mando could do it, because he has a connection with Baby Yoda, and Baby Yoda will respond better to Mando. She also tells Mando that Baby Yoda's real name, and get this, is Grogu, which I don't know how I feel about that. Grogu is a weird name. Maybe I'm just really used to calling him Baby Yoda, but Grogu just sounds a little bit weird. So Baby Yoda does return the stone using the Force, and Ahsoka now knows that Mando wasn't lying about Baby Yoda being Force sensitive. So they strike up a deal. Ahsoka will try to train Baby Yoda if Mando helps Ahsoka take over this village. Or not really take over, but take control of this village. This is very similar stuff to what I see earlier in the season. There's a lot of negotiating. I get this, you get this, trading off, things like that involving Mando. I guess that just kind of fits the theme of the show and the style of the show, gunslinger western, that style. So Ahsoka heads to the town alone and starts fighting off some guards and people at this town. She eventually confronts one of the higher leaders of the establishment and throws down the shoulder pad, the Beskar shoulder pad of Mando, to kind of show that she killed him, which is a trick, obviously. It's to sort of stray away at the fact that she's there and it's a distraction. But eventually Mando comes on the scene and starts fighting alongside Ahsoka. Ahsoka makes her way into the garden where the leader is, and Mando stands outside and confronts the military leader. It's sort of like a side-by-side confrontation from two different perspectives. The magistrate or town leader wields that Beskar spear that I talked about earlier, and the military leader wields just a gun. While the leader and Ahsoka fight it off, Mando and the other guy kind of observe and hear the fight that's going on inside the garden. I thought this was a great fight scene. Ahsoka and this leader coming together and fighting Beskar steel against lightsaber. I thought it was amazing. Eventually, Mando wins the battle against the military leader, and right before Ahsoka's about to kill the main leader, Ahsoka holds a lightsaber to her neck and asks, "Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?" I'm not too familiar with this character. I know he's from Rebels and he is a higher power within the Empire, especially after the Emperor was defeated in Return of the Jedi. But I do know that he is a significant character in the Rebels animated TV series, and he's also a great enemy of Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka eventually kills the leader, and they save the town, and they make another citizen of this town the new leader of this town. I said the word town a lot. Before Mando leaves, he asks Ahsoka one more time if she is willing to train Grogu. Like I said, Grogu is a really, really strange name. I'm just going to call him Baby Yoda still. She says she cannot train Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's formed too much of an attachment to Mando. But she does say that Mando can take Baby Yoda to a Jedi temple on some planet. I forget the name. But he can put Baby Yoda on the top of the mountain, and he will reach out to other Jedi that remain in the galaxy. Mando then takes the Beskar spear that I talked about earlier with him, along with Baby Yoda and himself, obviously, and they leave the planet, and the final shot is Ahsoka walking away from Mando's ship as he flies away. And that's how the episode ends, guys. So, overall, I really like this episode. Probably the most solid one of the season so far. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.